Hey people, hot off the press, only here in Australia, everybody's talking about the new 250 series Prado. Apparently it's a 250. I wouldn't have a clue about it because you know what? I wait and I'll see what turns up at the dealers in Australia. Whatever happens at TMCA, Toyota Motor Corporation Australia, they'll decide what cars we get here in Australia. So don't worry about believing any information you've got unless it came from the local Toyota dealer, because even if Toyota makes the car, it doesn't mean you're going to get it in Australia. So any information you've got, feel free to put it in the comments, share it on our Facebook groups, but try and make sure it is just proper information, not just getting people excited. Now, what an ugly piece of thing we've seen in some of those photos. I know there's a lot of hate for it. People call it hate, that's why I say that. There's a little bit of love for it as well. Some people love it, some people hate it. Sorry about the wind, but you know, what are you meant to do out here? You know, the wind's, there's a bit of a breeze, the wind's blowing. I can't help that. But in my opinion, a diesel these days is bad enough. A lot of people shouldn't be buying diesels. You've got to stop buying diesels unless you're a four-wheel drive, tracks a lot, outback tourer in Australia, that sort of thing. You should be buying petrol engines. They're a lot better for people's health. And they're obviously smaller cars with smaller engines that are a lot more efficient, cheaper to run. The Toyota hybrid range is absolutely awesome. Of course, only in my opinion, one of the last things you would want to do is combine some sort of EV or electric vehicle EV hybrid with a diesel. I mean, crazy. So if you're wondering what my opinion is, don't touch it. Besides, it's ugly, in my opinion, of course, and many other people's. I'd say more people hate it and think it's ugly than what like it, so we'll call it the hate factor, even though we don't really hate things, we just don't like it and it looks terrible. But some people like it, and each to their own. They said beauty is in the eye of the beholder. I say this is pretty beautiful. That's pretty beautiful, right? Maybe you can't see, but anyway, they're beautiful things, that's for sure. You find them on beaches. That's what beautiful is, not that new 250 Prado, right? Now, in my opinion, I wouldn't touch it. It's going to be expensive. It's going to be, you've still got all your diesel problems, and you can add some more technology problems to it as well. Being a new car, a new design and production during these times of having staff shortages, where we're already seeing problems with cars. Did you know, the other day we were talking to someone, and I'm sure it's happened more than once, but a 300 series put itself in park at 100 k's an hour on the highway. Yep, all the bits and pieces ended up out in the bush. So there you go. Be very careful what technology you choose to own. You're putting a lot of money into it. All right, this is the beach at Hervey Bay, and it's just my opinion. You can of course do whatever you want with these new technology vehicles. Like I said, the Corolla hybrids are really good. The Camrys, the RAV4s, the Klugers, all this sort of thing. Seems all really good, reliable, cheap to run. It's worth the investment. You've got smaller, more efficient vehicles. Don't buy a four-wheel drive unless you're going four-wheel driving. I'm yet to see a 300 series out on the tracks doing those four-wheel drive tracks. You know, that the stuff you used to do with four-wheel drives, like an 80 series or a 100 series or even a 200 series, you never really saw that many out there, because people don't usually want to invest that sort of money and then go and put it out to that sort of, you know, pinstripe, hammer it around, you know, risk of panel damage and that sort of thing. So just have a good hard think. I know a lot of people have got plenty of money, too much money. They'll do whatever they want. They're not listening anyway, most likely. And if they are, well, they're even wiser than I thought. Thanks for listening. Look forward to seeing your comment. But there's a lot of people that are getting vehicles with loans. They can't afford it. Interest rates are on the rise. Your mortgage payments are going to go up. They're doing it too slowly. Sorry, I didn't tell them to print more money and double the amount of money on the planet in the last 2 years and cause record inflation. But I did tell you in videos years ago that that's what they're doing. And interest rates, I absolutely guarantee they'll go up a lot well before 2024, while they were saying they won't move until at least 2024. You can check that in all the previous videos and put a comment and let me know which one it is, and everybody else can have a look, and you might learn it's time to start listening. Because when you've got a brain and you think, you can figure things out. Don't just do what they say. Tap, 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 and do it. You know, everything's just, you're automated. You got your device in front of your face. Yes, sir, no, sir, 3 bags full, sir, whatever you say, sir, I believe everything, sir. Cop that one in there, sir. And, you know, start using the folding, stop all the tapping. It's probably too late now anyway, but, you know, the resistance will just make it a little bit harder. And I hope you're enjoying that sunshine out there. This is a day at Hervey Bay. Probably, you know, what's it going to be, 25 today, did they say? Yeah, there's a bit of quality around, you know. So we're just walking up the quality beach here and getting our morning exercise. There's a few people doing the same sort of thing, a little bit of sunbaking, a little bit of swim, but nice and quiet on a weekday, isn't it? How good's this? Anyway, just wanted to voice my opinion to let people know in case they're unsure about what I'm thinking and they did want my opinion on this. So, you know, just to recap, firstly, you don't really know what you're getting unless it's an official thing from your local Toyota dealer. People that are putting in orders and waiting a long time, that's crazy as well. It's all just got to stop, mate. Who does that? Who pays full price when they've got that massive margin? They can usually discount you at least 10 grand. You're paying the full price, and the other privilege is you get to wait, you know, a year, 2 years, up to 5 years for a car. It's just crazy. Anyway, you do whatever you need to do. But what I'm going to do is keep collecting the older vehicles. The 120s are awesome. The V6, if you find a good one. The 1KZs are okay. Every engine's got its pitfalls. You really need to be on the channels and the groups to understand what all those are. Very cheap cars. You can travel. They're reliable. You haven't invested too much money. They're good off-road, because if you do get some pinstripes or a couple of dents by accident, then, you know, it's not really a problem, because you've only invested 20 or 30 grand rather than 100 grand sort of thing. So something to think about. I'll keep collecting those, even though I could go buy a 200 or a 250 or one of each. I'm not going to do it, right? We've got the 2022 Prado. That's more of a self-education thing, more than needing it sort of thing. That'll be for sale one day, so if you're up for one of those in the near future, in a couple of years, could be the one for you, because it'll be one of the best looked after vehicles, as we do see on our group in Australia, Oz Prado Group, a lot of people looking after their vehicles. I would wait until, well, with the way the shape's gone, it might never happen, because if they kept something similar to the 150 shape with a more of a facelift type minor design change, and they had a nice hybrid, petrol hybrid, of course, that would have been good. What would be really good if they start putting plugs on these cars? If they're really about the environment, why isn't there a plug there so that we can charge it up on our solar at home during the day, with all these people working from home now and being able to use our own power? Well, I think you can figure out the answer to that, because everything that you see and hear and believe, you need to think twice, because it's not what you think. It's not always what it is. You really need to think outside the square and, you know, really keep your eye on that quality control, right? Quality, because you only want quality. Quality's made in Japan. Toyota, generally, they're still making the best cars, but, you know, they can even make mistakes too. We've seen more recalls, I think, than ever before. Yeah, not a good time to invest into these vehicles, in my opinion. Diesel hybrid, big mistake. The look of that vehicle is another big mistake. So, you know, look, you do whatever you do, but I think they've blown it. And I wouldn't be saying, oh, bye Toyota, go to another brand, because you might not have heard about it, but other brands have got a lot of problems. You want to stick with your hybrids, your good trusted hybrids like Toyota. If anything else, maybe a petrol, get some petrol Corollas that are, you know, in the last 10 years old. They're all good cars. You just need small, efficient cars, people. It's all you really need. All these big four-wheel drives to look good, all dressed up, nowhere to go. Completely inefficient, but do whatever you want. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. If you want to subscribe, turn the bell on for more updates. That's up to you. And if you liked it, smash the like button, and I'll catch you on the next one. See ya.